Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Podocasts. Our last live stream was, it was as great as ever, not because of me, but because the audience drives the stream. You ask the questions, and I do my best to answer them. It goes without saying that I think most of my audience, they're AMP folks, so the questions tend to focus around AMP and Flexa, and the one that gets asked the most, what would make people spend crypto? AMP people know that Flexa will process crypto transactions. It can process anything, but this is still the beta test in my opinion, so they are focusing on crypto. Process any digital transaction. Those are not my words. Those are Tyler's words. If you don't know him, you should get to know him. But there's a big elephant in the room when it comes to spending crypto in the U.S., and we tiptoe around it. Now, as I'm doing my very best to cover AMP from every angle I can think of, this is a big angle, and I thought we should address it. What is the hindrance to people spending crypto in the U.S.? What don't they know but should know? It's a taxable event, a capital gains level taxable event. But, Empire, the world is big, and it's not a taxable event everywhere. Getting into that today, please stand by. Nobody likes taxes. Let me rephrase. I don't like taxes. If you were one of the odd ones that can't wait to have half of your earnings taken from you, you know what? You're a better man or woman than I am, and I will defer the point. But if you are in the U.S. and you are a crypto investor, you're a capitalist. That's how the IRS sees you. Capitalism is super fair as far as crypto goes. You take 100% of the risk, and you get almost 70% of the rewards. It is what it is. I'm not going to go on a rant about the system because I don't do that here. Just be advised that when you divest yourself of your crypto holdings, whether through selling them or spending them, these are taxable events, and they are capital gains level taxable event. The IRS makes no distinction to how you part ways with your holdings. You are advised. For the Flexa network and AMP to increase its value through usage, people need to spend crypto, as that is the focus of the network at this time. I don't believe for a single second that it will remain the sole focus of Flexa, but as I am pragmatic and use that pragmatism to evaluate a product, for all intents and purposes, Flexa exists to enable crypto spends. Nutshell. Put it to bed. Flexa also recently partnered with Income, so they will have visibility, and I mean lots of visibility, worldwide. This was a huge partnership, and as it rolls out over the coming months, also their words, crypto is going to hit one of the major wickets for a currency, acceptability. You have something you want to use, and 500,000 merchants will take it as payment. It's acceptable. There's always going to be a hardcore subset of crypto people who will spend crypto whenever possible. I'm one of them. I like the convenience, as I cannot think of a better way to realize profits than by using them to buy a pizza. I like the anonymity, as I think my purchases and how I spend my money should remain between myself and the entity accepting my form of currency. And when I can use the Spend app or the Gemini app to make said purchases, it gives me a warm and fuzzy feeling knowing that the 0.5% VIG charged by the network goes back onto the network, of which I am a stakeholder. It becomes mine. I like that. Convenience, anonymity, self-enrichment. I think those are great reasons to use crypto, and that's why I do it. But I have long ago accepted the fact that I'm an outlier in this regard, and that I can't expect folks to see it the way I see it, nor would I want them to. We're in a unique space. We can't be an echo chamber here, or innovation just absolutely dies. But there are several reasons people don't spend crypto. The easiest reason being that they don't know they can. They accept that it's something, but they don't really equate it as a value unto itself. They see its value measured versus the dollar. We all sort of have to do that. You need a measurable standard for comparison, and most people are just used to comparing everything to the dollar. It's the world's reserve currency. It makes sense. And it at least offers the illusion of security, stability. You got to have some way of keeping score. So until the majority of the planet start to make the association that cryptocurrency is in fact currency, it's going to hamstring the movement a little bit. The second big reason I see that they don't want to spend their crypto, they see it as an investment, not a means of trade. They know they can use it. Flexa. They just don't want to use it. And that's a big hurdle to get over. How do you convince a crypto person that it is literally in their best interest to use a crypto coin, Bitcoin, Dogecoin, etc., as it begins to apply an inherent value to said coin? Crypto has to have a reason to exist, else it is purely speculative, and people aren't going to spend their speculative investments. They might spend a small amount, a little bit. Hey, check this out. I can spend crypto at Baskin-Robbins. But they're in it for a reason. They want to see it go up and they want to cash it out. And if they're spending it today and it goes up tomorrow, they feel like they lost profit. They didn't. Of course, they didn't. If they are spending cash instead of crypto, transactions still took place, and one could argue that they could have just taken the cash they spent and bought crypto with it instead. It evens out profit-wise, zero-sum game. But the trick is convincing people of that. And I haven't found an answer yet. I'll keep looking, though. I see the absolute best opportunities at this time for crypto spends outside of the U.S. rather than inside. Korea, Japan, Singapore, they are more than embracing the crypto revolution. They are reveling in it. And as Flexa has partnered with a very big world-facing company like Income, who is going to put Flexa into all of these countries that not only desire to spend crypto, but embrace the opportunity to do so. The coming months are going to start looking very good for the empire. Central American countries are starting to accept Bitcoin as native currencies now, not investments. No capital gains level of taxes on the spends. Opportunity. El Salvador was the first, but they will not be the last. As more and more, Bitcoin is utilized as a currency throughout the world, its value is no longer purely speculative. It gains a utility element. Price begins to stabilize, and supply and demand kicks in as more and more people use it as a means of trade. 4 of the critical elements to currency, to what defines a currency, is portability, divisibility, fixed supply, and acceptability. Bitcoin is now going to hit all of those things. It's not purely speculative now. It's money. And nobody can process this money better than Flexa. Not for the safety, the security, the speed, and cost that Flexa can do it. Visa can try, and you know what? They're sure trying, but you know what? They're years behind Flexa. Anyways, look, man, I wanted to address this as it really gets asked a lot on my live streams. If AMP's value is pegged to usage, and it is, and Flex's growth is pegged to AMP, and it is, and people are hesitant to spend crypto, it seems like there is an elephant in this room. Now, I do not believe Flexa has any intention of staying purely in the crypto spend space. That would be turning their back on a massive amount of opportunity from traditional digital spends. And as they have built the better pay rail, it seems like it would be in their best interest to, this is a bad pun coming, to flexa that muscle. You see what I did there? Flexa that muscle. But until I get someone from Flexa on the stream to ask them directly, it's just speculation on my part. But I promise to offer my opinion on it, and that is my opinion. Op-ed. I'm allowed to have one. But we have a very special guest, which will be with us on the live stream on the 22nd of July. Ask Eli. Then I don't have to have an opinion anymore. That's it. The benefits are beginning to far outweigh the hindrances to spending crypto, but you have to look outside of the U.S. to really see them in action. It's fun to say that AMP will go to the moon and offer no context to it. YouTube is filled with that very content, and it's amazingly popular. But we don't do what others do, and we try to talk about what others are not talking about. There is a capital gains sized elephant in the room in the U.S. But that elephant is not everywhere, and the world is a very, very big place. Income is international. They are everywhere. And in the coming months, Flexa will be everywhere. Live stream on Thursdays and occasional Saturdays at 7 p.m. Central. Thank you very much.